Pick up another you call in the parking lot in Tucson. Are you with me? We're standing with the roof gone. I pull up like Jimmy Neutron. We can make it get a move on. Like you haul and I know we need to go slow, but we could go faster. Maybe the best.
Welcome in. Hello, welcome in. Okay, I was trying to do this 2 weeks ago when I got a little struck, chat on my channel because I couldn't go live for 2 weeks, but we're doing it today. Shout out to Carlos King. He did his interview with Quad and Dr. Heavenly, and we're going to talk about that. Hey, and then we're going to get into what King had to say about this interview and about what she said about their relationship. So I'm going to go ahead and play. And FYI, I will be stopping in between. Let me read my copyright disclaimer. Y'all, before I got on here, I was looking up places in Ghana, child. I ain't lying. I'm not lying. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is prohibited by copyright. The statutes that might otherwise be infringing, nonprofit, educational, personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right. So, oh shoot, my bad, y'all. Hold on, I done hit the wrong thing. So we're going to watch this video and we're going to react to it. I will be stopping in between. Hey, Miss Arlington. I will be stopping in between and, giving my thoughts and commentary.
Don't come in here with wrinkles, honey. Maybe you got a little piece of steam, honey.
But listen, I have to do a lot of bending over just to check.
Bend it over.
I had to check pulses. I had to check scrotum.
And prostates.
Mm-hmm.
Prostate.
All the things.
Anal gland.
Yes.
Throat. A couple of things. Well, with maybe 3.
Why you got a finger like this? You're supposed to take it like this.
That's what they do to y'all.
It should be small. It should be like this.
Yes, maybe
It should be like this.
Check the heart.
Check the heart.
How's the heart doing? It's not broken, is it, Carlos?
No.
You ain't breaking no hearts, Carlo. It's some heart.
Your heartbeat. Are you nervous?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that feels good.
Mm-mm. I'm not nervous.
Okay, let me do you.
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow, very supple.
Supple. I like that word.
Mm.
Carlos, I can't be acting silly with you today.
Baby, you would have failed anatomy
Put my feet
physiology,
down.
honey. Baby, put it over here. I said, baby, the heart is always open. What is it giving?
Listen, it's giving. I got the dynamic duo of American
Yes!
Medicine.
Get into
Oh, we're
it.
filming already? Wait a minute. I got to get my congressional self together. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute, Carlos. I can't be playing with you today.
I literally came in
I didn't
dressed.
know we were filming.
He's a professional doctor. What are you saying?
It's Dr. King, not to be confused with Martin Luther.
Okay.
I love it.
You know my great-great-great-uncle?
Uh-huh.
Yes, he had a dream and I'm living it.
You're
that-
living
is
it.
that your
Loud
real
and
uncle for
proud.
real?
Loud and proud,
I'm
baby.
proud. In more ways than one.
Yes.
Listen, I am so happy to have Dr. Heavenly
Yes.
and Quad.
Indeed.
Miss Quad.
She got it.
She got it.
Do you still have it?
Do I still have it? Honey, it's 10X. What do you mean?
Oh.
What do you mean?
Well, someone said the luck ran out, so I didn't know.
Oh, I never heard anything. See, here's the thing about luck. I've never been lucky. I've always been blessed.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this is a difference.
Oh, because it's St. Patty's Day.
Oh,
Can I start off by saying something?
not the morning.
You know what? I know how this interview gonna go, so I hope y'all ready for it because this gonna be hilarious. Him and Quad, it's not their first time. Hold on, let me fix his face. Okay, it's not their first time, so Dr. Heavenly like, oh, okay, because they're very close. Yeah. Okay, yeah, they having so much fun. And him and Quad, it's their second time they're good friends. So this interview finna go great. Dr. Heavenly just, sitting here like, okay. So, we gonna get into it.
I'm not doing this. But I am.
Because the leprechaun.
If you only do one thing to
Not
kick
the
off
leprechaun.
2026,
Did he
let
call
it
the
be
man the
this. Become a Ford
leprechaun?
advisor. When I moved to
Oh.
Oh.
What was it, baby?
Hey, Dr. Heavenly.
I just wanted to start off by saying I want to thank Miss Quad for all of the support she's given me
thank you,
on my
friend.
campaign from the beginning to now to the end.
Yes,
She's been out there
indeed.
canvassing, walking the streets, knocking on doors,
Yeah.
doing all of the things. She's maxed out on her campaign contributions.
Yeah.
You have too, Carlos.
Well, no, I definitely donated the maximum amount because
Yeah.
we are friends in real life.
Absolutely.
She was knocking on doors. I was door knocking, canvassing. I love a canvas.
Yes.
Listen, walking the streets.
I am humbled
I'm a
by the
street
support.
walker. So we are very happy that you are officially announced to be running for Congress in District 13.
Yes, I
Yes.
qualified on Wednesday.
You
Yes, I did.
qualified. So explain to us what that means, because the most I know about politics is watching The View.
Okay, first and foremost, I'm running for Congress. That's U.S. House of Representatives, okay? So that's in D.C. We represent in D.C. and here in Georgia.
Yes.
To qualify, you have to bring your money. You have to actually qualify to come in, and you have to fill out a form and do the things. But the great thing about my campaign is we've already been knocking on doors. We've knocked over 8,000 doors. We've contacted over 100,000 people already, and we plan to take this race.
Now, to vote again is in November. So she is running. She did win to take that seat. No, she didn't go in as a Republican. I was surprised too. But Quad did let her know what to talk about. Because at first, she was on go with the food stamp situation. Quad said, no, you can't do that. So she started talking about how she was on government assistance and how she could relate to people on government assistance because she grew up on it with her mom. Even though her mom and her dad were married, they were on government assistance. So in Miami, which is very, very expensive to live now, she was on, it was very expensive to live, and her family was on it. And she was like, she was on it at one time. That's why she was against it, because she was on it and she didn't want nobody to know. I think they did that because they knew that was her last one. I truly do. But she was like, I don't want to talk about it. And Quad said, that's how you get to the people, is talking about how you was on government assistance. Talk about it. Tell them how you were and look at where you at now. And that's why she was against people needed to be on it. And people having it taken away, not being on it, but having it taken away. She was against that because she was on, government assistance. Yeah, they did.
No, you are. And you were a part of it being the campaign manager.
Most
so
certainly.
Talk to me about that, because we saw you manage tons of offices.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. And people always say, is it hard to manage Heavenly? No, not when she trusts you. And not when it's something that she's very passionate about. And Heavenly is very, very passionate about helping the people of District 13. She lives it, she eats it, she breathes it. We have numerous conversations throughout the day. That's all we're talking about. This woman is so focused on helping others. And here's the thing, she doesn't have to. Heavenly is well established. She's married to a well-established doctor, which she's a doctor as well. This is her really giving her time and sacrificing herself for the greater good of others. And so it is very disheartening when I see people who are, not really supporting her in such a way, because what she's doing is groundbreaking. We have a lot of people who want to say, well, she's in reality TV and she fights. And
wait a minute, I don't physically fight. Let's
when
clear
we say
that.
fight, we're talking about verbally fighting.
Yeah.
Like I don't
sparring.
verbally fighting, right? And for me, that's a plus, because I would want someone to come in and have that same vigor to fight for my district. Now, I don't live in Heavenly's district, but Heavenly has my full support. As she said earlier, Heavenly has been, working and seeing her patients still and doing press for this show that is called Married to Medicine that is doing phenomenal on Bravo.
Hey, Giselle.
Oh my,
it's doing
my,
phenomenal
my.
on Bravo. Don't get
My,
messy. But what I'm saying is, while she was away, I was standing in a gap, and we're.
Let me tell y'all why he did that. So Giselle came out, as y'all know. I'm gonna do some clips. I'm not gonna do it till Sunday, but we're gonna talk about K. Michelle and how she responded to Giselle and Robin saying that, oh, well, Bravo, and Robin is coming back as a friend, right? Oh, well, Bravo running out of people, but you coming back as a friend taking a dig about K. Michelle. And Giselle was like, I like K. Michelle, but yeah, I guess so. And she basically called she called Real Housewives of Atlanta recycled and washed. But what people don't understand, Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Potomac in Atlanta are nemesis. They're cool, but they nemesis because once Real Housewives of Potomac go off, you got Married to Medicine. And after that little debacle between Toya, Giselle, and Portia about their shows and about the trips and who got the bigger budget, they've been kind of playing with it. So y'all gonna hear a lot of that.
Knocking on doors, and we're talking to people, and we're talking about figuring out what do they want, what are they looking for, and they're really just looking for someone to be visible, to be there, and to feel that cares and they're connected to. And this is her. This is she. She's very relatable.
And she done did my whole campaign speech.
Well, no, because like me, like Candy Burris, like Andy Cohen, and the many people who are supporting you, we know that you're doing this for your love of the community, and that's why it was nothing for me to contribute financially to your campaign. Thank because you. We are friends in real life, but if I thought you were doing this for television or storyline, I wouldn't waste my money doing it. I know how serious you are. Quad knows that. You and I talk all the time off camera. So I know this is real for you.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, like Quad has intimated, there are people who don't believe that. Your castmate, Dr. Simone, made a very public declaration feeling like you're taking this office as a joke, and she doesn't want you or the general public to vote for, and these are her words, not mine. She feels this is foolish. And
why would she say that? Why would she say that? And this is not the reality TV of me saying this, but if I said that about her career as an OBGYN, I'd be really wrong. I think that one thing we do on reality TV, and we have done successfully, is not attack someone's career. I mean, I could easily say things, but that disappoints me that she says that, because she absolutely knows that this is serious. She absolutely knows that. And I do think that I'm not sure why they're so upset that I'm doing something for my community. It does not affect them. Again, they do not live in my district, so they cannot vote for me. Although this is a federal seat, meaning that, we're going to change laws and do different things for the community. But I don't know why they would be so upset that I would take this time to sacrifice my life, literally, for other people. I don't know why they're so upset about this.
Did it break your heart? Because listen, at the end of the day, at one point in time, you, Simone, and Jackie were called the Golden Girls.
Yes.
And there was a friendship.
They're more golden than I am. I can't help it. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So much so that in your hometown in Florida, they went with you when you were, searching for, memories, your mom, and all this other stuff. Is it disheartening to know that this woman who you had a real friendship with felt the need to comment that publicly?
I think it's heartbreaking. I mean, I thought that me and Simone had a real relationship. I don't know why she would do the things she's doing. And honestly, I'm going to say I forgive her. You know why? Because I think that, and I'm saying this, everybody says I'm reading or I'm shading.
I feel like they both was wrong. I watched the show. They both was wrong. Simone was wrong for I can't for what she said on the reunion. Absolutely, I agree that she felt some type of way. I agree with that. But Dr. Heavily was wrong for trying to say that, you know, she was physical aggressive with her, knowing that they're both physicians. And she's saying it's nothing to come back from. I'm not sure, but I just feel like it's gonna take time. I give it 2 year, 3 year span for them. Toya gonna be Toya. It ain't nothing new with goddamn Toya, chat. I love Toya. Toya's just gonna be Toya. Ain't nothing we can do about it, okay? Toya is gonna forever be Toya with Eugenian, okay? Okay, they're gonna be the bushy and around, okay? That's just what they do. But I know that it's crazy because, you know, child, it's a mess. We'll say that. FYI, tomorrow I will be doing a crime in the morning, and we will talk about unexpected. And with Lit last Saturday, I will be doing Bell Collective Review, and we'll go from there. Love and Mayor Tunstall will get there Sunday morning, and Sunday night we'll go on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I am not monetized on my backup channel. I am not monetized. I am demonetized on my main. So please follow my backup so we get to 1,000, okay? Let's get back to it.
When I say things, I think that sometimes people need a mental break. I do not think that Simone's frustrations are about me at all. When she came into the reunion, she was crying. She made it about me. I don't know why. You know, she said that Jackie would not choose.
You said she was aggressive. She felt some type of way. Just being
side. I told Jackie, choose her side because she needs you more. You know, I don't know what it is, but I do know that people need a mental break sometimes. I think that it's a lot on her. I mean, we've seen her, and my heart goes out to her, seriously, from what she filmed. And at the time when we were filming, I had never seen what she was going through. Mm-hmm. But my heart goes out to Simone. I forgive her. Whatever she said, I take it, you know, and I can take, you know, a backhand. But, you know, the people of District 13 really need help. They really need somebody to speak up and speak out for them, somebody with a voice. As you see on my social, we've been on over 50 platforms, and that's earned media, meaning that we can bring attention to what's going on in our district with Title I and people not getting, and the kids not getting the school, the food that they need, the SNAP benefits and the lunches, because I grew up on free lunch. So I know what it feels like not to have enough to eat. And sometimes that was the only meal I got in a day. I know what it's like to be on WIC and food stamps because, you know, it's no secret. It came out on the show. I got pregnant before, but I don't think that it's a handout. I actually think it's a lifeline. And I would not be here today without a lot of the benefits they have today, including the federal grants and the Pell Grant and the federal student loans. So I would be totally remiss not to think about the people that come up against me, behind me. And Simone has had some of these benefits as well. So she should understand better than any of us how important this is.
Well, how do you feel about that? Because you've been around since day one. You are an OG. Mm-hmm. We even seen this season, you and Simone have a little back and forth. As Heavenly's friend, as a cast member, a co-worker, campaign manager, did it hurt you when she made that declaration? Because one thing the audience, and I am audience, love about Married to Medicine, so much so I tell my cast of Bell Collective and Love and Marriage to study what they do. No matter what happens, you girls come and support each other. We saw it this past Christmas, dressed up in the Christmas PJs.
Yeah, the one was at my house.
So were you surprised to know that it's one thing to have the discourse on the show, right? Were you surprised that that declaration was seen around the world and it got picked up by many outlets?
When was this declaration? Was this after we filmed?
It was after the reunion.
On social.
Well, that's interesting because I was at a game with Simone and she gave me a hug. That's what makes this so confusing because she embraced me at the Hawks game because, you know, we came to support the Hawks. We came in Quad's house. We actually got along great, you know, and I just don't understand the back and forth and the ups and downs. That's why I say people need a mental break sometimes. I think this show becomes a lot for people and what they're going through. And I think they actually take their emotions out on other people. I do do not think that reunion was about me at all. I do not. There's nothing I've done to Simone to make her feel the way that she feels, in my opinion. You know, we can talk about when she took my arm and grabbed it and pulled it. You saw it yourself. I was there. I don't, you know, and that's one of the things I've learned in politics and everything else. You believe only nothing you hear, but only half of what you see. I was there. So I'm disappointed in Simone. I would never say anything bad about her career or how she's able to do it. But yes, it's unfortunate.
You know, for me, I think that sometimes it's very difficult to kind of turn it off, right? To turn off the reality TV thing, right? What you go through on camera sometimes can actually spill over into your real life. And I think that's where Simone could possibly be with Heavenly. I think Simone is better than that. I did not like reading it. I would have liked to see her be more supportive.
I never saw that.
I seen it.
I never saw that.
Listen.
Y'all know.
She ain't see it because I think she deleted it or she put it in her story or she blocked Heavenly. That's why she ain't see it.
Can't tell me where to find it.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, I love the show. I love you girls. I follow all you girls, right? When I saw that, it was maybe a day or two after y'all shot the reunion. I was shocked because, again, I thought
it was after.
Okay, but we're watching the show in real time. That's one thing. And I think, listen, no shade. I think rightfully so, they should have questions. I think that's fair.
Absolutely.
That's fair. I was shocked that it was a declaration. It was very telling in terms of like, you all will be fools to vote for this fool.
Wow. You know what? I'd have to go back to what my husband says. We're not dealing with flesh and blood. And on this level, because we've never been that dirty before, we're not dealing with flesh and blood. These are wicked things from high places, really. I mean, I think that's what that is. That's all it could be. Because me and Simone ain't in a place like that. Really? I've never heard that before, and it's actually hurting my feelings. And I don't get my feelings hurt easily.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete...
I want to ask you this too, because Quad said something about turning the reality dial off, on, down or whatever. Even as you're sitting here today, you and I are known for our amazing recaps of this show.
Absolutely.
The fans have coined them Messy Mondays. You have this very dynamic personality. You are somebody that has definitely said your mama jokes.
Absolutely.
You are somebody who have said a lot of, irate things on the show. You are a force to be reckoned with. What do you say, Heavenly, to those people who only know you from reality television? Quad, I know you outside of TV. Unfortunately, the millions of viewers y'all get, they only see what they see on YouTube and what they see on Bravo. So with that being said, what do you say to people, Heavenly, who say, I only know this woman based on how she appears on the show? How can I trust that this woman here that has on a blazer, a Gayle King wig.
Come on, Gayle King.
You know what I'm saying? is not giving us an act.
Well, the interesting thing is you all have to understand that I was a doctor first. I have been practicing in my community for over a decade before we even started the show. These people in this community know me. I'm the only one on the ticket that can boast that I've lived in the community for over 25 years. But not only that, I've served in the community. I've had a practice in every county in this district. This is not just my patients. It's not just my community. It's my family at this point, and I care about my family. Y'all know how hard I fight for my family. If you say something about daddy or my children, I am upset. I feel like in District 13, people need somebody that's going to speak up and speak out for them. They have nobody to speak for them. They have no one to speak up for them. And people will die. If you look at that big, beautiful bill, I can go over and over again, and I know insurance better than anyone. Not only am I a doctor of dental surgery, but I have an insurance license as well, Series 65, real estate license, written 4 books, and all of the things. But that doesn't even matter. What matters is I care about the people. I always side on the side of humanity, and people will die. If you look at the Georgia pathway system, it's so difficult to maneuver, and people are going to be left behind. The Peach Care for Kids takes care of the babies under 18. Mm-hmm. Medicare takes care of 65 and over. But if you're 18 to 64, you have to have 80 hours a week or a full-time student or community service. And people with autism and or mental health challenges cannot hold a job. What are they to do?
Yeah.
And this is personal for me.
Yeah. To wrap things up too, because I know you have a lot to do this weekend and until you because the election is in April.
Yes, early voting starts April 27th. The last day to register is April 20th. The actual election day is May 19th, but you want to vote early. We saw what happened with Jasmine Crockett and all the games and tomfoolery they played. You want to get there, get early, and get your vote in for sure, April 27th.
April 27th. When you were qualified, your family was there.
Yes.
We saw Zachary, we saw your daughter, we saw Daddy. We did not see your other son. Why wasn't he there?
You know, I know it played out on the show, but my son, I have not seen him since, I haven't seen him in a while, almost a year now. You know, I said it on the show. I don't know if it's played already, but you know, if everybody knows that he got arrested, it was a big thing. And my husband did take care of it. I think what a lot of people may not know, but they know now, you know, after the show played, my son had a mental health emergency. And I did not, as a dentist and my husband is a physician, we did not know what to do. We didn't know that you were supposed to dial 988 and things like that. So Dr. Mimi was very instrumental in helping us through that situation. And that was after he was arrested. He was given a medication that he had a very bad side effect to it. He actually became catatonic and he could not move. He could not speak. And so when we took him to the hospital, he got better. He refused to take anything. And I don't blame him, right? Yeah. But we did get him into a medical facility. And because he was 25 at the time, 28 at the time, he's 28 now, 27 at the time, 25 when he was arrested, 28 at the time, he's an adult. So they didn't have to tell us anything. Even being a doctor and him being on our medical insurance and everything, they would not give us any information. And they treated him until his insurance ran out. And then they released him. And I have not seen him since.
Has he contacted you? Have you guys been texting?
Yes. When I first announced that I was running for a state representative, my son texted me. He said, "Is this real, Mommy? Are you running for office?" I said, "Yeah, baby." He texted me. That was a text. And I was so happy. And he said, "Mama, that's real cool." So since then, we have been texting. I have seen him on video chat, FaceTime and stuff like that. But physically, I have not seen him.
Why? Does he not want to come over? Do you not want to go?
I think because he was arrested. You know how people have their own vision in their minds of what you may think, or maybe he thought that, you know, we were disappointed in him or something like that. But I will tell you today, I would give every dime I got in the world to see my son again. I am proud of him and I love him with all my heart, you know? But yeah, I have not seen him. My husband talks to him every day. He texts me or calls every day. I'm the type of parent that, you know, is similar to some of the parents out there that feel like, you know, you need to have tough love with your kids. You know, he'd come home if we weren't providing for him every day. And that's when my husband and I disagree. My husband says as long as he has a breath in his body, he will always take care of my son, in a sense that he will give some money every day. I feel like giving him money every day prevents him from coming home. But Daddy doesn't want his son ever to be hungry or anything like that. So that's where we differ a little bit.
Is he living alone? Do you know where he's at?
As far as I know, he's living alone. Damon, I mean, we can find him, but we can't make him come home, you know?
Got it. And he's not ready to see you.
He's not ready to see anyone. I'm just hoping one day he comes home, because I don't think that he is seeing things in the right eyes. I think that I just want to see my baby again. I don't know what he's thinking, honestly. And we're close. Like, and, you know, with all my children, I've given all I got to give to them. They went to the private schools. Not that that matters, but he's a graduate. He's a college graduate. He's an educated man. I just, you know, maybe I made some mistakes somewhere. I don't know, but you know, I want to see my son again. But rather than complain, rather than sit idly by when I see somebody going through a challenge, what I do is I'm not I try not to be vulnerable, even though she says to be vulnerable. I wasn't taught that. What I was taught was get your buckle strap good and make a change. And that's what I'm doing, you know, for Medicaid, Medicare, people without insurances, people with mental health challenges, people with autism. Somebody has to speak.
Somebody do. I'm gonna tell you, I lived in Atlanta. And a lot of times when I see people that have very bad mental health challenges, like a lot of them would be on the trains, on the bus, and I never thought that, you know, it was an issue until I started digging, because sometimes these people can get their medicine and have the money for their medicine and have enough just for that. Like, you don't see them doing like that first 2 weeks of the month. But getting towards the end of the week, you see them and they ran away from home, having one of their spells until the family have to get them and bathe them. Like, if they have schizophrenia and stuff like that, some of them just be out. So she not lying. It's very thin for them to get the help that they need.
Up and speak out for the people, because nobody cares. I always say either they don't know, they don't show, or they don't care. And and since then, I've visited correctional institutions, and I did not know this, but I was able to tour them, and 71% of our brothers that are in correctional institutions have mental health challenges. There are not enough crisis centers. If my son was not Damon Kimes Jr., he might have fallen into that system. And they have people there 2 to 4 years waiting for trial in a correctional institution.
Yeah.
So you got to think about all the, and when I started telling my story to mothers everywhere, it's always a son, a nephew, a brother, a husband, or somebody. Everybody's going through this. And I didn't realize what kind of epidemic it was with mental health, you know? And I'm here to make a difference.
Quad, what do you have to say to the people in District 13? Because like me, you are somebody that only shows support when it's necessary. You believe in this woman. You believe in her campaign. You believe in what she stands for. What do you have to say to the world in terms of why they should vote for Dr. Heavenly?
Just like when I said at the open of our discussion, she is very focused. She really cares. She has passion for the people. I've seen her single-handedly just change the self-esteem and confidence of people just through giving them a better smile. Who takes the time out to say, hey, I'm doing this pro bono. You owe me absolutely nothing.
Your mother, for example.
Oh, yeah. That's my mom.
Yeah.
But that came through a friendship. I'm talking about people that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
You know, people that she doesn't even know. She's never met them before, but she wants to see the greater good for other people. Again, I say Heavenly doesn't have to do this. She doesn't. She's already set. But the fact that she says, hey, it's not just about me. I'm not comfortable with just me and my family being successful, or me and my family being able to eat or have better health care. That I'm uncomfortable. I need to do something about that. And that's what you need. You need a person who says, you know, regardless of where I am today, I once was you. I know you. I was you. And someone who has experience in being able to kind of cross the line, right? And again, like I said, to be fearless, you don't need someone who could be bought, who could, you know, do backdoor deals, or someone who's just running for the position. And once they get the position, now you never see them again. That we're in a different climate. We need people who are action focused, right? And who really, really will demonstrate being bold and fearless. And I see that in my friend.
Music is one of the best ways to express your feelings. That's why today we're gonna do some.
Absolutely.
Well,
absolutely,
look, and where can people go on your website to, you know, donate and just really find out your causes that you're passionate about and everything else?
Absolutely. I can tell you firsthand, my passion is affordability. A lot of people cannot afford to live. They can't afford food. They can't afford gas. They can't afford lifestyle. In my community, a lot of people are coming in, buying up properties, raising the rent so they cannot afford to live where they actually work. Secondly, it has to be healthcare. That's my first and foremost. That I talked about the insurances and how we need to make changes. We must make the ACA permanent. We must extend in Medicare and Medicaid. We also have to talk about education a little bit. I'm a double HBCU graduate, Florida A&M University, Meharry Medical College. And like she said, I would not be here without the Pell Grant and the federal student loans. So those are the things that I fight for. But to answer your question, you can find me on all social at Dr. Heavenly for Georgia, and also drheavenlyforgeorgia.com. So yeah, make sure you get up, get out and vote, guys.
Yes,
That's the
it's
only thing
imperative.
I can stress
It's
for
imperative.
you, because our vote does matter. It does count. And I've been all across the district, and everybody has different issues, but I'm the person for the job. I'm smart, I'm relatable, and I'll be here. And I trust and believe I do all my jobs well, whether it's a beautiful smile, Carlos, smile for us.
Hey,
She's my dentist.
Whether it's reality TV, and I think we give great entertainment. And I think, and actually as a congresswoman, I will do the job better.
She did, God, what's her name with all the kids? Grit Baby teeth. When Grit Baby had them nice teeth in, she did them for her, and Grit Baby ain't want them no more.
Than anyone else is capable. Yeah.
And I'll say this. I think what we're seeing in the world right now is gone are the days where you can only do one thing.
right. Oh, most
You know what I'm
certainly.
saying? We have shown the world that we're multifaceted. I was a reality TV producer. I have a podcast. You know, listen, girl, you have so many hats that you're wearing. So I do believe that when God puts a calling on your life, and one thing you said publicly, you even said to me, is God called you to
Absolutely.
do this, and you became obedient. And like, even said, you don't have to do this. There's no gain for it. So I'll say this much. I'm proud that you
Thank
are
you.
Yes,
putting
indeed.
your passion where your mouth is.
Thank
and
you.
you're actually doing the work, because a lot of people don't.
Y'all see me in these streets. I really do care about my community, humility. We're at war right now. A lot of things are going on and people don't understand. If nothing else, transparency, somebody that's going to
Yes.
speak up and speak out and let guys know what's going on. A lot of people are not knowing and pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on, because this is some trying times. And 10 years ago, it may not be a space for Dr. Heavenly, but right now in the day and
There it
age,
is.
they need someone that's going to be unafraid, unboard to speak up and speak out for our people. And I can't think of anyone better to do that.
You heard it here first, y'all. Exclusive.
Hey to the people.
Listen, we have to get into Married to Medicine. One thing about you girls, y'all don't sleep. Every season gets better and better and better, and you guys are doing such a fantastic job keeping us talking. The show is doing extremely well this season. Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank
You know, listen, to be in the game for 12 seasons and to beat Potomac in the ratings.
Oh, Lord, honey, you would not let them people down. You won't let them down?
I told y'all between Real Housewives and Potomac, that's why, because they're tackling them in the ratings. Even Toya said it when she was going back and forth with Ashley, and it was, being funny and fun. And she was like, oh, well, we got y'all in the ratings, and y'all trip budget is up. And she said nothing. So you have only 3 most black casted shows. Of course they gonna tussle.
Have you heard from Giselle since the records and the proof and the timeline and the receipts and the evidence show that
No.
she actually did say what she said? Did you get an apology DM, text,
No.
or flowers?
I always don't check my DM, so I could be a little bit behind, but I did not get any flowers to my beautiful home. However, I did see somewhere someone sent to me that her and my good soror, Robin, they did apologize to the cast, of course, Married to Medicine. So that's well enough for me.
Good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well enough. Yeah. Nice. Mhm.
You know what? On my political campaign, I would tell you this. They told me when people pause, don't you say not another word. They say if they waiting for you to say something else and mess it up, then just be quiet. Just be quiet. He's waiting for you to say something else.
No, that's all I
Let
have
it
to
go.
say.
Just be quiet.
All is well. All is well.
Why is it all well with y'all and Toya? What is going on with y'all and Toya? This season, listen, you guys are in Jamaica, and Dr. Jackie has appointed Toya to be the leader with the Met Gala.
Right, exactly.
And you two ain't seeing it for Toya having a job. So talk to me.
Well, no, actually, I was available to hear her out in Jamaica, to be honest with you. I was available to hear her out. I think what has happened here over the years with the Met Gala, now that was our third year of doing it, I think that the ladies, and this is in unison, right, that she didn't support. That was the consensus across the board. You know, now I wasn't there the first time around, honey. I came in, I tiptoed towards the end. But, you know, the girls, on my desk, you know, I got it off my, ran across my desk, right, that the lady was not supportive. And then, two, she was not supportive. And so I think the ladies wanted to say, hey, we were trying to verbally tell you that it wasn't Dr. Jackie's event, because she thought, well, you know, why do I have to pay for Dr. Jackie's event? Dr. Jackie don't pay for any of my events. And I was trying to say to her personally, I know me, I was saying, no, it's not Jackie's event. It's our event as a collective. Jackie is just at the helm of it right now, right? And she just couldn't get that through her skull. She just couldn't get it. And so with that being said, the girl said, well, you know what? It's better to show her than to tell her. And so that's why they decided to have her to be appointed the chairperson. This
I'm not letting this go. I do not think that Toya's a fool like Simone said I was. She saw the invitation and always said the ladies are married to medicine. Toya is no fool.
So Toya,
She's not a fool. Not like me. She's not a fool.
but you're not a fool.
No. I'm just laughing off of what Simone has said. Listen, I ain't gonna let that shit go ever. And I'm not trying to use profanity.
you revealed, some would say exposed, that Dr. Jackie told you that Toya was not doing a good job leading the Met Gala, and you put Dr. Jackie on the spot. I thought we were in church because it was quiet as a church mouse. She didn't say anything. You know, the girls feel that you have Dr. Jackie's back and she never defends you. I want to ask Claude this question, though.
But what you
I have an answer for you. Can I not answer?
Secondly, let your chairman ask. So,
Campaign
manager. The girls feel
Hey, Ceci Ray.
that Dr. Jackie
okay.
Skates around easily. Hence, they say you took her chair at the reunion. So,
Oh, well, I don't try to take anything from anyone. What's for me is for me.
okay.
That's how I see it.
Okay.
Yes, I don't take anything from anyone.
Because after 11 seasons, you sat
You's a messy
in
ass.
Jackie's chair.
Well, that was the seat that the people had appointed to me.
Okay.
Mhm.
When Dr. Heavenly
What
she
is
got
happening here?
qualified and elected to sit in that seat, y'all. It was voted by the
Claudius.
Academy of Production. So with that being said, when Dr. Heavenly revealed that Dr. Jackie feels that Toya is not doing a good job at this,
Yeah.
and even intimated that Jackie gave Toya this.
I want to pause. I was surprised at it too, because usually Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie sit across from each other. But usually when people sit like that, that means that with Toya had the most conflict of things going on this season, right? Quad had a lot going on with her relationship. So when y'all notice, and we have said this before when it comes to the reunion seating, when y'all see people sit up next, that means they had the most field. Hey, SC, they had the most field, or it was something that people didn't like or didn't, whatever. Just like when Portia had that seat. It basically could be the hot seat. It's a good thing or a bad thing, or people, but it's really your spot is secure. Now, Dr. Simone and Dr. I don't know if Dr. Mimi gonna come. Dr. Heavenly, they're trying to switch it up because we kind of figuring out how this go. But we'll see who come back next season.
So that she could fail, because we all know, well, you all feel like she would. Do you?
No.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Watch
We
this.
didn't want her to fail.
It was never about her failing.
Go ahead.
It was about her learning a lesson.
That's it.
Sorry,
It was
you're right.
about,
And
it
we
was
weren't
about
never going to
her.
let the Met
Yes,
Gala
never
fail.
gonna fail.
We weren't going to let it fail.
Not the Met Gala
We were going to
failing.
make sure it was a success.
Yes, but her
anyway.
learning a lesson. Do you think that Heavenly was just fed up from always protecting Jackie because Heavenly never gets that protection in return?
I do. Yes, that's exactly how it is. I think.
Now listen, when I did Toya said the same thing. Even Quad is saying the same thing. We don't know how this gonna go now. Y'all remember they gotta film again. Toya said it and Quad said it. They feel like she just not being a good friend. Even when it comes to Heavenly. Toya said it and Quad said it. Now remind you, they had different times of this interviews.
And listen, we stand in support with Jackie. We love Jackie, but I talked to Heavenly, you know, and we're not talking about Jackie because she is a friend of ours. But I try to help Heavenly to understand you just have to love your friends and know what type of friends they are. Right? You know, you have some friends who are like absolutely amazing at this, right? And when you need someone to call on and to cry to, then that is the person you call, right? When you need someone to strap on their boots and put that all black on and ride out, that's the person you call. When you need someone to possibly say, you know what, I'm thinking about this new business and, you know, what do you think about this idea? Then that's the person to call. So it's for me, it's about understanding the strengths of your friend. That's how I explain that to Heavenly.
What is Dr. Jackie's strength as a cast member of Married to Medicine?
Jackie's strength. I think, you know, they hired Jackie initially because it was word around town was Jackie was the person who had a lot of celebrities, that she had delivered a lot of celebrities' babies. And I think they wanted that. I think they were attracted to that. And that's one of the reasons why I think they selected Jackie. Now, she's very smart. She's excellent at what she does. She really cares. She was my doctor stateside as I was going through my IVF journey. She did all of my tracing and tracking. And I saw where, you know, she cares about her patients. We prayed together a number of times. She was available to me. So she's an excellent doctor. Yeah.
Is she an excellent reality star?
Is she an excellent reality star? It depends on what you're looking for in a reality star.
Can I say something now, please?
Sure.
What I would like to say is Jackie has been an amazing friend to me. She has been there for me when nobody else has been. Unlike Quad in a different way. Quad has been so supportive publicly and you know, and everything. But
Not
Jackie
even
is
just publicly.
and behind the scene and all of the things.
Publicly, privately.
All of the
4
things.
o'clock in the
And
morning,
I prayed
3
about this,
o'clock
and
in
I'm
the
gonna be
morning.
very honest with you guys. I was really upset with Jackie at one point. Because she would not speak up and tell her truth, especially at the reunion. She chose to coddle Simone. She chose to do whatever she needed to do to make Simone feel better. But you have to understand, my friend. She's going to tell a lie when it actually benefits you and makes you feel better. She's going to act a way when she feels that you need her, like Simone needed her mentally and emotionally at the reunion. I will never take anything away from Dr. Jackie because she's been there for me, just like Quad has. But everybody has their line. On this show, Jackie has always been the one that wanted to stay pulled up even when she couldn't be. Jackie is always the one that wanted to be the mother to pull people back together. This is a TV show. Outside the show, just like in my candidacy, we are different people, right? Mm-hmm. Jackie has drawn a line on what she would do on television, right? Just like my line is to never disrespect my husband. I respect that. She respects me in that. And I just don't have any ill feelings. And when I do speak up for Dr. Jackie, I don't mind doing it. Mm-hmm. I almost want to do it. So if I'm doing what I want to do and she's wanting, then we have a mutual friendship now, right? But I am not going to lie. I felt some kind of way at the reunion. And so when Toya read the filth out of Jackie, I sat idly by. And maybe I was wrong for that, for being in my emotions.
Because
Jackie,
typically you would have.
I wanted to, but I just couldn't based on what had transpired. But Jackie has been an amazing friend to me. She's maxed out on my campaign. She's been a supportive in the way. And Quad will say this as well. You got different kind of friends. My husband said to me, you got different kind of friends. Jackie's not capable of being the kind of friend that Quad has been to me. Jackie's not capable of doing it, just like I'm not capable of certain things, you know? Mm-hmm. And I respect it. I love Jackie as a friend, and I will always love her as a friend, just like I would Quad.
I love you, man.
Thank you. I love you too.
I received that. I received
And
that.
I love Simone too. Transparent, whatever she got going on mentally, physically, in her
Saying
space.
about her mental.
I feel like Simone is going through something, and it has nothing to do with me. And my heart goes out to her. I did not know.
I do want to ask you guys this. You said you feel sorry for Simone. You saw what she was going through this season. You two were very instrumental season 5 at the reunion when Simone and Cecil were on the verge of divorce. Y'all shed tears. Y'all spoke to them backstage, on the stage.
Yeah.
That was 7 years ago. To see their conversations this season, you are somebody who went through a divorce, and that was
Yes.
very tough for you to file. It was very tough for you to go through it.
All the things.
And it was tough for you to have to experience him back on the show with his wife.
Mhm.
You had to go through all of that.
Baby, the people loved it, baby. They thought they was gonna light my ass up with that, baby. They said, "Oh, we got somebody shooting. Send a torpedo over there." There was no torpedo, baby. That was a little 22,
Okay,
little peggy soup.
Okay.
Little
Pew,
juice
pew,
juice.
pew, pew.
As a woman who went through divorce
What
herself
she did.
Yes.
On television.
on television, when the world told you to stay,
A lot of people thought that when Sweet Tea came on, it'll be this and that. Now, her and Sweet Tea never had an issue. They never had an issue. But the alliance of them trying to get Sweet Tea on to mess with Quad because they were mad at Quad was the issue.
do you two sometimes feel like, based on what we're seeing 7 years later,
Mhm.
that maybe they should do what's best for them? And if that is going through a divorce, being divorced, we should allow them to do that.
I think everyone needs to do what's best for them. No one is 24/7 under the roofs of anybody else's house. It's just not. I don't agree with people pushing people to stay together. You might
Like
ask,
Simone pushed me. Go ahead.
you
I'm sorry.
might ask a few questions. That girl did not push you. You may kind of just say, "Hey, let me ask a few questions just so I can kind of see where you are, maybe help you to see where you are and to kind of see if there's a place of emotion where you can find that tenderness for your spouse again." Right. But I don't agree with anybody pushing anyone to stay anywhere. For me,
But it with all due respect,
yes.
it appeared that y'all pushed them to stay together.
Well,
Watching it.
we encouraged that if love is not done here, right? If it's not 100% done here, then we got some space to work it out to see things through. With Simone, I think Simone is a hard worker. She is a loving mom. I think she is a very supportive wife. And what I would say, and seeing the scene this season when they were around the table having family dinner, it hurt me, man. And I felt where Simone was coming from. Like, you're giving everything to your family and no one is appreciating you. No one is giving you support. That hurts. That hurts. And then you're only as good, or they make you feel like you're only as good as what you give them. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. And Michael and I had a conversation when we were at the reunion.
Simone's son,
Yes, Michael. And we that's my baby. Like, that's my baby. And he loves Miss Quad, honey, as he should. But I said, be easy on your mom. Love on your mom a little bit more. Treat her well. Don't do what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. And make sure she knows that you love her. He said, I got it, Miss Quad. I got you. I am. And he said he would do better. And I believe that he's doing better by his mom.
Do you think Cecil will do better?
I felt bad because it was like, Cecil was like, well, we have it, but I understand where she was coming from. Like, excuse me, I'm the only one working all these hours on call to make sure, yeah, okay, he making sure everybody good, but I'm also making sure everybody good. So I should go without, you know what I'm saying? Because you want something and that's not fair. And that's how she felt. But he got himself together, though. He did. He got himself together.
Better by his wife?
Yeah.
I do. I do. Cecil, everyone knows that's my brother. He's a great guy. He loves on his sons. He loves Simone. I think that he needs to operate in action when it comes to Simone. I think he needs to start being more physically there when it comes to Simone and the boys and being supportive of Simone. See, the boys will one day get married. They're gone. That's it. But Simone has always been here. And it's about Simone and Cecil. You know, nothing should come in between that covenant. And I think not even children, right? So I want to encourage Cecil, get in there. You are a damn good man, and you need to step up and you need to show your wife how good and how much of the world you think of her. Because she's been working hard and she sacrificed a lot.
What are your thoughts? Do you think they should work on their marriage, or do you think sometimes you just have to throw in the towel?
I think that, yes, when we actually encourage Simone to stay, I think the reason she stayed is because she wanted to. I don't think that we could have made her do anything she didn't want to do. There's nothing you could do or say to make me leave my husband. Now, I will say this. I understand both sides of it. I understand that Simone works very hard, you know, and it's very difficult being an African-American woman working hard and not seeing your spouse work as hard as you do and how it's portrayed. And my heart goes out to her. But also I would say, Cecil, it has to be very difficult for Cecil to watch the show. And I'm not understanding what is actually what I saw on the show, that he was portrayed as a man that does not contribute financially or emotional support on the show. That's what they, you know, and for him to look at that when I know that's not the case. I know that he's a hard worker. I know that he loves Simone. I know that he loves his children. I think we have to take time out and think about how he feels as well, because he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Even when Simone was cursing at my man, it was very difficult. I don't think, did I say anything derogatory about Cecil, because he's such a great guy. But I do understand Simone as well. You know, when you're
You did say, well, at least my man worked. Did you say something like that?
No. I said, you don't talk about man because you can't win this. My husband's a whole fucking doctor. That's what I said. Okay. But I said you couldn't win this because she was saying all kind of derogatory things about my husband. Remember?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, that's before she pushed me, but go ahead. But anyway.
She made it seem like Damon doesn't pay bills or has
she said
credit.
She said he didn't pay his bills on time. And and you know, in my mind, you know, my old me would have said, but he can pay a bill. He makes the money to pay a bill. But you know, me trying to understand Cecil and where he's at right now. And, you know, I do think that he does have a job, you know.
Cecil works. Yeah.
And I think that he does what he can, you know, and I think it's very difficult to be married to somebody who, you know, probably is more successful in layman's terms, you know, educationally and financially, for a Black man to do that. I mean, you know.
Cecil graduated from Morehouse.
I'm saying he's not a doctor, though. I'm saying, you know, he has a degree.
Girl,
yes, I'm just saying, as a man point of view, this is my perception of what I think it is. I think it's very difficult for a man to. For me, my husband told me it would be very difficult if he wasn't a doctor being married to somebody as successful as I am. It would probably bother him, his ego, his manhood, and things of that such. So I think that's true for a lot of men.
And that for most men want to be the breadwinner in their relationship.
They want to be the breadwinner, but not only that, I think a lot of times it may be okay if the woman could be quiet about it. If the woman is not reminding them constantly that I do this, I do that.
But you wouldn't have to remind them if they didn't so frequently forget.
Right.
Now let's get into that.
We could have a conversation.
So men need to always show appreciation.
I agree with you.
For the hard work and dedication that a woman is giving and what she's doing. And if she's helping to elevate that man, you have to appreciate that.
You're very passionate about this topic too, because obviously we know that you were married to a doctor. You were brave and courageous enough to divorce him.
Yes.
And the reason why I say brave and courageous is because I do feel like there's some women who would love to divorce their husbands.
Absolutely.
Do you guys know any who?
I mean, Simone said herself.
Yeah, she did. That was at Brandy's birthday dinner. But I think, you know, she could have been speaking out of anger. A lot of times when people are upset, they say things that they really don't mean. You know that.
You don't think she meant it?
No, I think
sometimes on reality TV, it's easier to stay. That's what I would say. For some people.
I think that's where your question, you were leading, going in that direction with the question. So for me, yes, I decided, listen, here's the thing. When love is love and it's great. And when love is not, it's not so good, then it's over. That's just how I look
But
at it.
do you believe that there are some women that are not as strong as you that really want to leave their relationship, but they stay in it? Not in general, but even on reality TV because they don't want the idea of failure in marriage.
Yes, of course.
So
I think,
do you see anybody on our show that have that?
I think on camera and off camera, women in general, when you feel like, what's my family gonna think? Am I gonna look like a failure and embarrass the name of the family? I'm in this marriage and I hate it, and this person's no longer good to me, but I feel like I gotta stay to save face. I'm not about saving face.
I agree.
And I'm not about being fake. If it's not working for me, then it's pretty much over. And that's just how I look at it. I feel like this life is so short. I do not see myself wasting time on trying to force something to work when it's just not working. I don't have that type of time. I'm 44 years old. You understand what I'm saying? And I will.
She is trying to. She is heavily trying to take it to the ground. Quad is trying to keep it. We not gonna do that. Y'all heard Dr. Heavenly say, I'm not gonna let that go. She wasn't gonna let go that Quad that Dr. Simone called her fool. She's not letting that go. So that's just forever on that. She's like, listen, I'm not letting it go.
Continue to make that decision and make the happy choice for me. It's just what it is.
And again, I hate to belabor the point. Choice. Quad was stronger than a lot of people would be. And for me, I would never leave my man because he gives me everything I need. But
you have the public criticism. You're going to get that anyway. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're never going to satisfy everyone. And you shouldn't even be in a business of trying to satisfy or looking for someone's approval. You know what I mean? You should live for you. And I always live for me. And that's just it. When my marriage wasn't working, it wasn't working. It was time for me to go. And guess what? I was able to let him free, and now he's found happiness, right? And that's awesome, right? And I was able to free myself from that situation, and I found happiness. And I've, we'll find it again, and I might find it 5 more times after that. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't believe in being stuck anywhere.
Right.
I want to talk to you about that because, listen, one of the biggest storylines we've seen this season is your IVF journey with Kirk. And I had a chance to meet him last year. We all were together at Kathy Hilton's Christmas party.
Had a good time.
It was a great time. And I met Kirk. Kirk was lovely. I met him one time. Last season, we were all rooting for you two. This season, a lot of the Quad Squad, they did not like him at all. They thought he spoke to you crazy.
Even the bloggers did not like him. I was iffy about him at first. I was like, I don't know. But no, he wasn't best choice. Like when I say a lot of people, they was like, nah, we don't care for him. No. He looked good, but like that's how people felt. Like, no, that's how they felt, though. I mean, yes, I think so too. A little bit, just a little bit.
They thought he was very insensitive to the journey. I even said on my platform, Mother Night Live with Dustin, Claudia, and Blue, that I know you personally, and when I would watch the scenes, I know my girl's in love, and I said, well, maybe they're just having a little tiff. But I said, she loves him. And that there's not one person breathing who could tell me that when it came to Kirk, there wasn't love there. It was love there. We found out through Kirk, unfortunately, that you two did break up. He did say the luck ran out. When other women were flirting with him, when we all just assumed you guys were still together. What went wrong in your relationship with Kirk to where you decided to break up with him, or did he break up with you?
This is what I'm going to say about that, and I won't spend very much time on it, right? Because the past is just that, and I look to the future, and my life is great now, right? Was there real love there? I completely loved him. Completely. Didn't play about my love for him, right? Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. In love, sometimes it's just not enough, right? As of right now, I'm single and moving forward and the brightest.
Ready to mingle. Just got back from South Africa, baby.
Yes, just got back from South Africa, and life is what you make it. There's no need to stay in a place again that if either of us are not making the most of it in a good way, then it's probably time for us to call it quits.
Did you call it quits first?
It was mutual.
It was mutual.
It was a mutual situation. And when we go back to saying, what was that? Luck ran out. I never worry about luck. Again, like I said earlier, I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. So I don't ever worry about luck.
We gonna get into what he said about her after this.
Do you feel
we gonna get into him saying something in a comment because he saw a clip, and we're gonna get into that after.
feel that Kirk was insensitive when it came to the journey that you were going through, that the audience feels?
I think he thought that it was just going to be a one-time thing, and we don't have that power. We don't have that control. We don't know if it's going to take the first time that, and for us, it was 4 times we did IVF and underwent getting the eggs extracted and the fertilization and all that. But I think he was thinking, well, this may not be so difficult. It'll be a one-time thing, and then we'll have this baby and everything will be great. And it took a little longer. It took 3 more times after, financially, more money.
Was it all your money, or did you guys split it 50-50?
No, he paid for the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's about the size of it. I think that I think sometimes men don't completely understand the full realm of what it takes when a woman is going through IVF, because you can go through this and not get any eggs. You can go through it and only get 1 egg. And so you don't want to just put everything into this 1 egg. Of course, you want to get as many eggs as possible. And henceforth, we got 4 of them. And so it just takes a little longer. And, there's a lot that comes with it. For people who say, it wasn't real. Yes, everything that we did was real. He and I worked together for a year before I even brought him to television. We traveled the globe together. We were very, very close. Very close.
She kept the card.
So it's preposterous to think that
a lot of people didn't think he was good for her, because a lot of people felt like he was trying to humble Quad for who she was for whatever reason. And it was kind of weird to see like him just, but I think she did keep the cards. I think she still got them. Nah, he can't let
it was a fake relationship. It's even more asinine to think that I would put my body through the rigorous shock of what it takes to go through IVF, not only 1 time, but 4 times.
Yeah, 4 times.
It's just ridiculous. Everything for me was very real.
Are you still going to go through your IVF journey?
You know what? Right now, I'm enjoying life. There would be a time where I would walk. It wouldn't matter if I was at the grocery store or out shopping or at the airport. I would just get stuck on looking at a baby and just really follow this family like across the hall. As of late, I found myself doing that actually at the airport in South Africa.
So are there other options, adoption or?
Oh, most certainly. Like there's adoptions. There is
Let somebody else carry it.
Oh, surrogacy for sure. There's something else that I actually learned while I was going through my process in Ghana. There was a young girl in the recovery room with me, and I woke up and I was like, wow, man, she's really young. And I was like, what's your name? How old are you? She's like, I'm 22. And I'm like, are you going through IVF? Because that was my thought process. I'm thinking her reality, my reality could possibly be her reality. And she said, no, She says, I'm donating eggs. I
Mm.
said, whoa,
Mhm.
wow, that's something. That's big right there. And of course, she was donating eggs and getting paid so she can continue to help
So you
make
would carry
contributions to her
someone else's
family.
egg?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that could happen. But what I
Yeah.
do want women to understand is that just because it doesn't happen for you the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time, right? It only takes that one time.
Mhm.
It only takes that one. And your last time is not indicative of what can happen for you in the future. So I am very, very positive. I have a positive outlook on it. And when God says it's time, it'll be time.
How did you feel when King made the comment under our post when you spoke about the breakup and how he announced it first? Because a lot of people felt that we only know you because of Quad. So because Quad introduced you to us, give that woman the right to introduce to us that y'all broke up. He left a comment under the post saying for you to be careful before he starts speaking out about some stuff and exposing people.
I don't know what he could expose because he doesn't know anything about me. However, I will say that I'm wishing everybody to just be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I want him to
that's
move
right, yeah.
forward and be happy. I want Quad to be happy. I do think they had something very special. I think I did think highly of him, and I still do. And
We're going to get into them comments in a minute because he said a lot more than that. I think he wanted I think he heard that him and Quad didn't work out. The way he acting to me is giving, oh man, she broke up with me and I really didn't break up with her, but I'm going to say she broke up with me just so I can humble her. I broke up with her, my bad. Just say I humbled her. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I'm taking it. Like, it's you doing a lot. A lot.
I hope he lives his life amazing, just like I see Quad living an amazing life as well.
I think that's well said, Heavenly.
When was the last time that Kirk has reached out to you?
It was recent, very recent. Maybe a few days ago.
Saying what?
I don't.
Girl.
I
Girl.
don't.
Okay.
Here I don't indulge. Listen,
Did you respond back?
No.
I don't indulge. You know, here's the thing. I'm all in when I'm all in. I'm so in. I'm so in when I'm all in. Sometimes I can even be blinded that I'm so in. So when I'm all out, when I'm out, kind of all out.
Do you not to belabor, I'm gonna move on. Because I know you personally. When I watch these scenes, I know you, so your eyes lit up. Like anybody would love it. Like when you're around Damon, hey, you know,
And my whole voice changed.
your whole voice changed. I'm like, that ain't the girl I talk to every Monday. Who is this? So when you said as a Taurus woman, when you're all in, you all in, and that's how Taurus women are. But sometimes when you're all in, you could be blinded. Do you feel like you have blind spots in your relationship with Kirk?
Bob told us that they were going to
Hey,
test
Gucci
the
line.
alien craft that night.
Ooh.
Love is beautiful. And it's an amazing feeling. I would encourage anyone to enjoy it. That's what I'll say.
Oh, shade.
You ain't gonna go nowhere with that.
No,
baby.
okay,
You just let it go,
And the
child.
reunion is coming up, and I know you get into it at the reunion, so I also want to make sure that people watch the reunion. Now, with that being said, Toya Bush Harris came on my podcast with Eugene, and she said that Eugene and Kirk are friends. They have a great friendship, and she said she has a great friendship with Kirk. She still follows him. She also enlisted Kirk and his car company to have her son for his 16th birthday party to, get one of the vehicles from Kirk.
That's a lot of talk you're doing about certain things.
And I did ask her, I said, oh, you still follow him because, they broke up. And she said, we're friends. How did you feel knowing that Toya is still keeping the friendship with Kirk? Because were you surprised that they even had a friendship?
This is what I'll say to that. I think Eugene and he may have a budding relationship. fresh new possibility there, right? I don't know, maybe even after they see this, they'll probably go and hang out together, to try to cement it, but that's okay. In reference to Toya, I think that it is.
She ain't lie. I gotta pause. She ain't lie. She did go hang out with him after that. She sure did. They sure did hang out with him after that. They sure did. And somebody said, dang, Simone and Toya loves dealing with quad exes and whatever they have going on. And I said, it seemed like that after Toya's son, they did hang out. There was a picture that went after this interview. She ain't lie about that now. She ain't lie. I say, oh, okay. All righty then. That's what time we on? Oh, okay. And they was at a game in the skybox. The skybox, as Martin says, skybox, the skybox. Yeah.
It's very difficult for Toya to 100% support me. It's very challenging for her to do that. And part of that is because I'm already that girl. You see what I'm saying? So if she supports me, then it's continuing to push me up a little bit higher. And that just can't be. She just can't give me that. So she may give me a little bit of something, but she'll never give it to me in its full glory. But the good thing about it is that I don't need it.
Boom.
Do you think you have the life that Toya wants?
I think people find happiness in their own lives,
What do you think, Heavenly?
I'm running for Congress District 13. Y'all do not want to know what I think, really. Y'all really don't, because I do have thoughts on it. Leave it alone, please.
I'm moving on that same episode. Toya,
and I would say, I think when we're talking about Toya, right? And you're talking a little bit about me and Tori in our relationship. We're not beefing at all, and we're actually really cool right now. But I think that at any chance Toya could take to think she's going to
let's
embarrass
do this,
me. Can I finish?
No, you cannot. Listen, do you think that if Toya wanted to, do you think she's just such good friends with Kirk that she got to hang out with him and do his cars and all that? Why do you think she's doing that? I'm just asking. I just asked the questions. Why?
Well, that was I asked the same question too.
Do you think they just great friends that she got to go down there and put on for that?
Well, I will. Or what?
Well, it's for her son's birthday. Let's people will do whatever for their children.
There's a lot you could do for your children.
People will do whatever they will for their kids, and that was a great birthday.
Okay, I'll let it go.
That was a really good
Toya
birthday
did say she was very confused by the timeline of the breakup. Toya intimated that you and Kirk could have been broken up during filming, and that you made some sort of deal with Kirk to continue filming, although you two were already broken up. And that could be the reason why we're seeing such angst from Kirk during this season, unlike last season, because he's only there as a willing participant for your storyline.
Toya said that.
She made lots of references in terms of she is confused by the timeline of the breakup. She wanted to know it wasn't adding up, that the math wasn't mathing, and intimated that you two were possibly broken up during filming of season 12.
Actually, we were not. We broke up in the last quarter of the year.
Oh.
What's up with your face? You want to say something?
No, I just wanted to know your response to that in terms of you and King were not, because one thing we did see, because we know they do pickup interviews, right? And typically when the husbands, boyfriends, fiancés are doing the interviews, they have to be with the main cast member, which is the woman. And we saw in the previous episode that he was alone in the interview.
Yeah, those were unique situations. And I'm not going to speak on his family, but he had a dear loss in his family. And production wanted to get his viewpoint of spending time in Jamaica, because he's from Jamaica, of course. And we actually did the couples trip there. And production's going to make it happen. I was busy. I was doing some other things that day. And then I think I even was with Simone and Cecil later on that evening after I got done with some of my affairs that I had to take care of.
How did you feel when Curtis said that he believes one of the reasons why you weren't blessed to have a baby is because you and King were living in sin?
Yeah, we've already talked about this. I don't think that Curtis was in position to make a judgment at all on our relationship. In fact, I don't think anyone is in position to make a call on our relationship. Not the Harrises. Well, I don't think Eugene ever has, but not Toya, not Curtis, not anyone. I think the focus should be on their own relationships. And that's just it.
Twitter went ablaze and they all felt like Curtis, the Bible also talks about infidelity.
Mm-hmm. Well, as I said before, like I didn't know that Curtis was, Bible toting, scripture quoting. It was new to me. But again, like I said, I don't think it's fair for anyone, or I don't think anyone is qualified to speak on my relationship.
Were you shocked when you saw Curtis reference the Bible despite his public infidelity at the Atlanta airport?
I hate you, Carlos, so much.
B, near the...
You know what I think.
What's it?
Honey, at this point...
Did you zoom in on the Concourse?
Concourse B.
Oh, Lord. Down at the gateway.
B12.
Oh, was it really?
And I don't mean the GNC supplement.
Whoa.
Well,
my God, today.
I will say this. I would say without sin cast the first stone. I think that we all have our imperfections. I know I do. And and I think that we all have been guilty of judging people when we should not. And I do not think that Curtis should have said those things.
This is what I think of Toya. I think that I think her and I are all right, and we're cool enough.
Are you? Really?
Can I finish? My
Okay.
friends. This is what I think, but at any time where Toya thinks that I could be doing bad or could be embarrassed or could be not doing so well, and she can kind of push the narrative on that, she will. That's what I think.
Is that a friend?
No, it's not necessarily friend. I don't treat my friends like that. I don't. Carlos, do you treat your friends like that?
No, I have real friends.
Get into it. Well, I think that's what Mimi was asking when Mimi was saying, hey, Simone, is Toya a safe friend? I think she said something about Toya being a safe friend, right? And I think that's what Toya was trying. Or was it? I think it was Mimi and Angel who questioned Toya's level of friendship. Am I correct?
It was.
Yeah. And so when you have these type of questions predicated around someone's character, and people are just kind of scratching their head at it, I think it's probably the time for said person to kind of step up and be a better person and show that she's a better friend and understands girl code. And it wasn't about being in your 20s. And, there was a situation where Toya was really trying to humiliate Angel in front of someone. And that's just the true tea. And Toya knows that. Toya knows exactly what she was doing with that. You don't go up to anyone and ask, oh, well, you just last week asked me to hook you up with somebody. And from my understanding, as my good Angel would say, my good friend Angel, she said, listen, the girls come down hard on Toya. They say Toya don't have a job and Toya don't do this or don't do that. And she does nothing with her dates and her time. She just leans on Eugene and works Eugene to the bone and works Eugene into a grave.
That?
The girls have said that. And so what Angel was doing was like, hey, as a compliment, girl, don't worry about what they say. It's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom and having a good husband. Girl, that's good. Does Eugene have any friends? But it was more of a bigging her up and helping her, like feeding her self-esteem in regards to that. Some kind of way, Toya turned that around and made it negative. But it didn't fare well for Toya. It didn't age well, and it never will. When you are doing things that are nasty and that are dirty, and you're specifically, intentionally doing those things, then to turn around and ask this man, how is Angel in the bed? What, you cat watch?
She wanted to know, hell.
What, you cat watching?
You said cat watching?
Yes.
Like Pussycat?
Yeah.
Why?
So I'm just talking about as a friend or as a person who's wanting to have a relationship or a friendship, as a person who is growing to know someone.
What? I'm going to pause. What's crazy is a lot of people are calling out the Bush people. Yes, they're calling out the Bushes. They did it at the reunion. Contessa said she felt like it was the Bush, the Toya and Eugene Bush show at one point. How they reacted at the, and then you have, Quad saying, "Hey, listen, she's not a girl's girl for real. Like, she's being real nasty lately, and I don't know what's going on." It's a lot of people saying a lot of things. I'm like, wow. Even for Contessa at the reunion to sit there and say, we thought it was, Toya and Eugene show. What the hell? When was the wait? What? And he was like, oh, wow. And she was like, I'm not trying to be offensive, but that's how y'all were making it. So I feel like a lot of people, even people in the comments that was watching clips of the show felt that way. They was like, dang, what's this, a Toya and Eugene show? Like, why they acting like they do this? How can they run that? Some people were team Toya and Eugene. So I'm just saying.
Those are things that you just don't do. You just don't do it.
And to close, I will say that Quad has been an amazing friend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
An amazing, amazing friend.
Thank you.
On camera, off camera, on campaign, off campaign, giving emotional support, financial support in every way. I appreciate you, friend. Thank you for everything. Thank you. You deserve it. Don't cry, baby. Don't cry.
I'm proud of you,
I
girlie.
don't like you to cry.
Whirly girly.
Don't cry.
Whirly girly, I'm proud of you.
Don't cry. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
And I will do the job I say I'm gonna do, and the people can trust me.
Yes, I'm proud of you. And you get in there and you work your ass
Oh, you
off.
know I am. I'm excited about it. I'm obsessed
And don't
with
let
it.
up. Don't
And
let
I
up.
do all my jobs well. Just like I done on Married to Medicine, just like I do on Teeth, I'm going to do the hell out of that job. And I'm going to
Come on.
enjoy doing it. And my friends are going to help me.
Hello,
I got a group of doctors that
Hello,
want to
somebody.
help put policy together. I got so much that we're going to do, that we're going to show up and show out for this.
And we need a little financial support when we're talking about women in IVF. It's
Oh, yeah,
expensive.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
we-
that is
Federal
true.
dollars, federal
That is
dollars.
true. That
yeah.
is true. That is
yeah,
true.
absolutely.
Well, look, I love the two of you, and you guys know that we're friends in real life. I love this show. I've been campaigning, okay, for
Absolutely.
12 years
Absolutely.
about how
Thank you,
Married to
Carla.
Medicine is the best show on Bravo. I've always said it. I'm never letting up on that. Married to Medicine is the best show on Bravo, and I'm so happy that the people are now catching on to it, and it's a beloved show. So many people love it. You two are extremely instrumental to the success of the show. And I thank you two for coming on Reality with the King.
Of course.
Married to Medicine, guys, Sundays at 9:00 on Bravo. And don't forget, Dr. Heavenly is running for Congress, District 13. District 13. Go to drheavenlyforgeorgia.com and go to all of our social media platforms as well to support.
Hey.
See y'all.
Working across teams is tough,
That
but
was a good
Asana,
interview. He asked all the questions that everybody wanted answered, really. Now let's get into Mr. King over here. Child. After he saw that interview, he had something he wanted to say. So he said he responds to Quad lies in her interview with Messy Queen with no. Now who put that? Y'all not finna do him like that. Y'all not finna do Carlos like that. So he said, I asked to end the relationship, and I haven't had a need to contact you. Stop trying to make yourself look good. These curated interviews and PR stunts are laughable. You have them in a controlled environment with your friends, not with the real journalists that would question you. Roll eyes. The performance goes on. And no, it wasn't mutual or amicable. That was another PR stunt. So someone said, by King, Quad hasn't said not one bad thing about you, but somehow you have to speak negatively about her any chance you get. Move on, sir, and quit being sassy. What you're really mad about is the fact that she moved on peacefully without you. If you ended the relationship, then let it be and move on and stop talking. The interview was aired several days ago, and you now just decided to respond. That's how I know you mad that Quad moved on peacefully. Somebody else said you can always tell when a man feelings are tender, they are mean. Somebody said let him speak, because I don't believe he proposed and he was never giving up his bachelor pad, and I doubt they had actual activities 15 times. Well, first of all, he lied. And King, I'm not being funny. You Jamaican, y'all love sex. No shade. Y'all love sex. Y'all are sexual driven, okay? If you could get a chance, you would do it. I'm just saying, y'all love it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear none of that. None of that. Hold on. How we got the Chris Brown page? Chris, I ain't asked for this. You just popping up out of nowhere. So he said something. I'm going to play this audio. I'm just being honest. You Jamaican boy, please don't play with me.
Kirk has reached out to you.
And so this is what he said. He said, stop lying. He said, I wish people would stop saying he can't speak out as long as he keep talking. She keep talking. So why is he? She never talked. She got asked a question. My thing is, she got asked a question. I feel like in the text, he tried to get back with her and she said no. That's what I think. She tried to get back with her and she said no. And then he told
for a fact he was trying to get back with Quad, just not to.
I think he did, because the way he acted to me. And then King said, keep my name honest and yours stay protected. Don't use your friend.
Terribly long ago.
Quad and King have officially broken up. King alluded to this yesterday. He posted an image on him.
I'm going to say this. Everybody comparing him to Peter. Peter said what he had to say and Peter didn't keep going on. That's the difference between Peter. Peter said what he said about Cynthia. He said, even when Cynthia said what she said he still loves Cynthia. He had no bad blood with Cynthia. So y'all can't compare the two. Like, you just can't compare. Child, it's a mess. So yeah, child, that's all with that, child. It was a good interview. Just so handsome, Quad is a lucky woman. And then he said luck ran out. Child. So that was her reply to him saying the luck ran out. So yeah, y'all, that is all we got for now. I will see you guys later. Like I said, my 2 channels are not monetized. I am demonetized. And my second channel is close to 1,000. So y'all go ahead and subscribe to that channel as well. We are growing. We are close to 1,000, y'all. So yeah, y'all get ready to subscribe to that channel. We'll be back with mommy content. We'll be back with some mommy tea. Y'all know how we go. We'll be back with mommy tea, honey. Yep, we'll be back tonight. Let me see. Oh, girl, she got done up. Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you guys at 2:30. We'll see you guys at 2:30. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We're going to come back with some mommy tea. I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.